Okay, the aim of the workshop, the union realizes that most of our most of our members, especially the ones in the transport and the manufacturing sector, consists mostly of the blue-collar employees. So these people know how to do their job, but when it comes to the inevitable part of their duties as workers' representatives, they need to be trained on matters that relate to labor relations, such as representation, wage negotiations, and all those things. So the aim of the training is basically just to empower them on how to defend and represent their fellow workers.
Now, this workshop aims to strengthen the capacity of our new and existing shop steward and effectively represent workers. Which labor-related matters are you going to focus on?
What we are focusing mostly on as they are workers' representatives is the training is in three parts. The first one is unfair labor practices. The second one, the major one, is disciplinary hearings, as most of them are required. They are the first point of contact with the union and their fellow employees. They are required to actually represent. So that will take part of the huge part of the training, as well as wage negotiations.
Now, the event will also feature presentations from key service providers. Who are these service providers and why is their presence important?
The workers' welfare is very holistic. So what we did is we partnered up with our partners in the industry from the financial sectors as well as from the insurance to just come and give their presentations. So usually what happens is during the wage negotiations, workers demand for better improved working conditions such as medical aid and pension, because there's such a variety on the market. So what we do is we bring them on board to come and market their products to the union representatives, so they can then go and advise their fellow employees on which product better suits that specific company.
Now, you represent workers in transport and manufacturing industries. What are some of the major challenges faced by the workers in these respective industries?
The major challenges that we are currently facing, number one is unfair labor practices. Number two is compliance with the provisions of the Labor Act. Also, just the new gazetted minimum wage is also one of the challenges that we are facing. And as well as the constant retrenchments. They've become very constant, and most of the workers are now currently working under pressure. So what we did is, especially for the training, is to empower the workers for them to anticipate these challenges before they become a crisis.
Now, some employees, tend to be hostile towards unions sometimes. Now, how has your working relationship been with them over the years?
Well, it's inevitable. Employees at the current stage, because of the previous actions of other unions, have lost hope, essentially, in the representation of unions. However, what we do is, especially with NARETU, it's a union that is mostly referred. So workers are referred by other workers based on the work that we have done, and that is how they end up coming to look for representation from NARETU. So essentially the work of the union speaks for itself. So if a union is not performing, essentially members are definitely going to resign from that union and join a union that better represents their needs.
Now, you have started with this regional workshop since last month. What is your next stop after the Northern engagement?
After the Northern engagement, we are actually looking to come back to Windhoek, because we started in August. We started in the central region, then we went to the western region. Now we are in the northern. But what we realized is that we only in the central, which is the major part of where the employees are, we only managed to train about 38 companies, which consisted of about 100 employees. However, we have, as of the previous 2 months, we have received quite a huge number of companies, and now this means now these are all new shop stewards that need to be retrained. So we are looking at about November to come and still retrain the new shop stewards in the central region. Hopefully we might go to the south, but that will probably be at a later stage, if not early next year.
Is this something that's going to be happening often?
Yes, because when we look at the Labor Act, it's quite complex and it's very difficult, especially we are dealing with blue-collar employees, and matters of labor relations are very, very complex. So one training is usually not enough. So continuous mentorship is definitely a must. So we will be, each and every, we are looking at each and every month we are in a different region, just to ensure that, and they are also on a constant change. So one shop steward can always switch. So there'll always be new shop stewards almost every other month. So it's definitely a continuous exercise that we are embarking on doing.
Would you say what you've done so far in terms of workshop, would you rate it a success?
At the current stage, definitely yes, because if we look at the backlog of cases that we have, were the ones that come to the union, especially in companies that were not represented but now are, it's quite few, because workplace issues are quite a lot. You can have, especially we have bigger companies that have a workforce of 2,000 employees. It's difficult to go one by one as a union representative, but when we have trained stewards at those premises, they are able to represent and sort out these matters, especially with constructive dialogues. Most employers are, some of the employers are very open-minded to acknowledge that shop stewards are actually there to just maintain balance and a healthy working environment. So the training so far have deemed to be very successful.
So since your workshop is basically with the union representative from the different workplaces, would you say that whatever is being communicated and used as an opportunity to train is being effectively communicated to these organizations or companies?
Yes, definitely. I think the work that they are doing reflects that the training is doing what it's meant to be doing. So yes.
Okay. Any final remarks?
No, the training will be on Saturday and Sunday. It's actually a 2-day workshop. It will be at Ondangwa Airport Lodge. It will be starting at 8 o'clock. So we just encourage all the people, even those that are interested, just to be empowered in terms of labor relations. Yes, because we realize a lot of our people are actually not that acquainted when it comes to these labor issues. So definitely we encourage people to attend.